A section of women leaders under the Office of the President's Advisor on Women's Rights and Kenya Women Parliamentary Association (KEWOPA) have today held a consultative forum on the Constitution Amendment Bill on the two-thirds gender rule in Nairobi. This comes after the push to implement the two-thirds gender rule gained momentum following the move by the executive to have the constitutional requirement implemented. As Gloria Musimbi reports, National Assembly Deputy Speaker Gladys Boss-Sholei said a constitutional amendment ought to be made to make the parliament composition more inclusive of women.
Members of the Office of the President's Advisor on Women's Rights and Kenya Women Parliamentary Association (KEWOPA) converged in Nairobi to consult with other women leaders on the constitutional amendment bill on the two-thirds gender rule. This as the government continues to grapple with the implementation of the two-thirds gender rule in its appointments. Speaking during the forum, National Assembly Deputy Speaker Gladys Boss-Sholei said the purpose of implementing the two-thirds gender rule is to get 290 women in Parliament, while stating that equality is not a gender factor but a human right as per the Constitution. She said that 349 may not be attained, but 290 will still be a great step.
Increasing the number of members of Parliament can also turn the public against us. So let's meet the public at a middle ground. And the persuasion that is being given to us is that we make a constitutional amendment to make the composition of Parliament for the purposes of achieving the two-thirds gender rule or implementing the two-thirds gender rule is 290. So that we use the 290 constituencies so that at least it will be evenly distributed.
Majority Leader Kimani Ichung'wah, who was in attendance, assured the women leaders of mobilization of gender equality, implementation and inclusion of women in elective positions in Parliament.
The Office of the Leader of Majority will not in any way be a stumbling block to the achievement of the two-thirds gender rule, but will be a facilitative office, will be your number one mobilizer in the National Assembly to ensure that we achieve this for the betterment of our country's governance.
On her part, the President's Advisor on Women's Rights, Harriet Chigai, stated that her office is working towards implementation of the two-thirds rule so as to equally judge everyone based on their abilities and not their gender.
We must remember that momentum for change is not automatic. Just because there's a political goodwill does not mean progress is automatic. It must be spurred by the committed individuals. We cannot rest on our laurels and assume that time alone will see the two-thirds gender principle realized. All over the world, there has to be affirmative action.
Principal Secretary, Ministry of Cooperatives and Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises (MSMEs), Susan Mangeni, assured the KEWOPA group of women parliamentarians both from the lower and upper houses that the State Department of MSMEs is at the forefront in advocacy and strengthening the participation of women in all spheres through economic empowerment by provision of financial security.
My State Department is serving close to 80% of Kenyans who reside in that bottom of economic pyramid. And now, for us to help those people access economic empowerment opportunities, I know people talk about financing, but it's never the only challenge that MSME have or those people need. They need even capacity building. They need linkages. They need networking. They need somebody to help them underscore their social capital. And if there are people who can help us create formidable networks, are women, isn't it? So what we are doing is that we are coming up with very unique initiatives that will help us reach each and every corner of this country.
Reporting for TV News Watch, I'm Gloria Musimbi.